This year we are in Central and we are in Mubende. And how do we select these local governments? At the appropriate time, we send out calls to the region that is supposed to host in that particular year. So this year we sent out our calls to the districts or local governments in the Central region. It is a first come, first serve. Mubende was the first to respond. So we went and did our due diligence assessment, and indeed they were fit to host that day. And so we are taking that day to Mubende, and every person with disability, with or without actually with disabilities, we are inviting them to come and see what happens. And they be part of the awareness. Even right now, this talk show is already an awareness creation that we are creating out there. So we don't just stop here. And I know this TV is not only for Banda Kampala.
No.
Yeah, so so already actually it's reaching to the farthest that this station can reach. And actually people who are even outside the country.
Exactly.
If they can, do some live streaming, they could be.
Even on mainstream, people out of this country.
So these talk shows, we go for any other awareness campaigns, different events, we are always talking issues of protection of the rights of persons with disabilities and amplifying their voices, making them come out, letting people know that they are indeed people who can also participate in national development, just like any other person, as long as we can remove the barriers that exist that limit their participation.
Well, thank you so much for that elaboration. Now, there is a very big concern, especially on who is considered a person with disability. At some point where we had a discussion with the Electoral Commission, where they said we are overwhelmed with very many claims of people saying, I'm a person with disability, therefore, because of this condition or this condition or this condition. And now, as a Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, what is the situation of persons with disabilities in Uganda, and who do you consider as a person with disability?
Okay, that's an interesting one. I didn't know that people really wanted to be persons with disability. I thought people want to disassociate themselves.
Now, when it gets to opportunities, when you're in a hospital, in a queue, maybe lining up for a service, and then you would want to associate with a person a person with disability, because a person with a disability will be given
I want to define for a person with disability, verbatim, as it is on the Persons with Disabilities Act, Cap 115. According to I don't want viewers to say those were hard definitions, that is not ours. I want to define it as per the law. So, the Act defines a person with disability as someone who has a permanent and substantial limitation in performing daily activities caused by physical, mental, sensory, or environmental barriers leading to reduced participation. This definition is found in Schedule 3 of the Act that I have just mentioned. And the Act goes on to bring out the different categories of persons it considers to be persons with disabilities. And I want to read it exactly as it is on the Act.
Yes.
Number 1, physical disability. And it goes also further to break down what other categories are under physical disability. So under physical disability, it brings out cerebral palsy, amputation of the limbs, either upper or lower, just says of the limbs, paralysis or deformity. That is as far as physical is concerned.
So that means if I lose my one finger, then or maybe an accident, and then half of it goes off, I do not fall under that category.
According to my definition, you do not fall under that category. Remember, there must be a functional limitation. After you losing half of your finger, what functionality have you lost? Are you no longer able to wash your clothes like before? I don't think that will stop you from bathing, washing your clothes, remaining with your normal duty or normal routine. as any other person
Okay.
of your category.
Okay. Now, because this is now where people start categorizing themselves. You know, me, I got a disease and I lost my nails, so probably I should be considered as someone with disability.
No, I want to make it very clear to our viewers out there that from today onwards, the impairment that you have on your body, for you to qualify to be a person with disability as per the Ugandan law, you must have a functional limitation. It must limit your functionality. You're no longer functioning like every other person, maybe who has that other part that you're claiming to have had an issue with.
Okay. Now it is clear. We continue. I know others will come.
Yeah, and that is why we are here. You know, it's very good to create awareness, and people must know this. So that was one. That was physical.
Physical
there
disability.
are 8 of them. So the second one is hearing disability. This includes deafness and hard of hearing.
We need a distinction between the two.
Between the two.
Deafness and hard of hearing.
Deafness and hard of hearing. Hard of hearing, first of all, is somebody who maybe doesn't hear and could be able to actually speak. If I'm talking to you and I'm facing you, I can probably read your lips and I'm able to speak. But if I'm not looking at you, I'll definitely not know that you're talking to me.
That one is hard of hearing.
Hard of hearing.
Okay.
So I'll not be able to know that you're talking. I cannot. That's why during COVID, we had a population of our persons with disabilities saying that the masks were limiting communication. Yes, because for them, they read lips to get to know what somebody is saying, and they can ably reply back. But the moment they cannot read the lips, there's already a barrier. They cannot hear you, so they can't respond. So that is the category that is on hard of hearing. Then deafness, of course, are our colleagues who cannot hear and cannot talk, and from time to time they need the services of a sign language interpreter. Unless, unfortunately, we are having this show and I'm not seeing somebody at the side trying to create inclusion for our viewers who have hearing impairment.
The good thing is that we are with someone from Ministry of Gender and in the same unit that handles this. But still talking about this, I look at also another situation, especially with people who are hard of hearing. We've heard of procedures that people go through. Maybe someone goes into gets what is it called, an implant, and then at some point they probably can hear using a gadget. When they get into that process, do they cease to be persons with disabilities, or they remain persons with disabilities even with those aids?
It's just as good as asking me somebody whose limbs have been amputated, and maybe they have the prosthetic limbs, and then you ask me when they are wearing it, do they cease to be persons with disabilities? Because without that assistive device, persons with disabilities need assistive device, assistive technology to help them to participate, to help them compensate for that other lost functionality. So if somebody has a cochlear implant to support their hearing and communication, it is only supporting them to remove that other barrier that was limiting them from hearing. Because should you take it off, then the person is back to zero. And we should from time to time work towards removing all these barriers that limit the participation of persons with disabilities. And assistive devices and technology are one of the solutions.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is number 2
Yes.
of the 8 you told us about.
Yes. So we go to the third one. That is visual disability, including blindness and low vision. I think this one is clear. There are those who are totally blind, they cannot see, and there are those ones that need to really come close for them to be able to see something, or you need to really write very large print for them to be able to see, or they need magnifying lens for them to be able to read your text. Those ones are low vision.
So that
then
means
the blindness are people who cannot totally see, and maybe they could even maybe see one eye, but when one eye is totally blind. But there are people who might need braille to be able to read using their fingers. Yes.
So that means that people with eye defects are under this category.
An eye defect is a medical condition.
No, because at some point you get maybe long-sightedness or short-sightedness, and does it mean that you now cross this category?
I don't think so. Eye defects are completely different.
Okay.
Because most people who have eye defects, they suffer when it comes to reading. But they can move on the street without the glasses. Like for me, I wear glasses if I have to read really far. But right now what I'm reading is here and I'm comfortable. I have an eye defect. I don't count myself to have low vision. Low vision is completely different.
Okay. Because why I brought in that is because some people use that as a way of qualifying themselves to be under persons with disabilities with in the name of I have low vision or I am short-sighted and so I'm a person with disability.
Okay, I didn't want to overcomplicate it, but maybe the health people, there is a terminology called legal blind. To be legally blind, there is a distance within which if you cannot see, then you can be considered blind. And people of low vision don't actually fall in this category. But I would leave that explanation to the professionals.
Exactly.
But that is the little that I know. There is a degree, there is a way they measure that, and eye defects are eye defects.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go to the fourth one. It is deaf and blind disability. Actually, this is it's not supposed to have the and in between. It's supposed to be deaf blind. It means that person has a combination of both visual impairment and hearing impairment. They can't see and they can't hear. It's a combination. It's a complicated one. And you'll ask me, so how do they communicate?
That was the next question.
They have a special mode of communication called tactile mode of communication. It's kind of like another form of sign language, but using touch. Yes, with time, of course, there are professionals who can teach them how to learn to communicate in that format, and they can ably communicate. Yes. So that is that category.
That's a little complicated compared to the ones we've looked at so far.
Actually, disability is very complex. Most of us, when you hear a person with disability, ordinarily out there, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind, I would presuppose, will be maybe somebody with half a limb, somebody on a wheelchair, somebody with crutches, or somebody with closed eyes trying to find their way somewhere. That is what will come to your mind immediately. But disability is so complex, and it affects different parts of the body, and it affects functionality at different levels. We might even have the same disability, but we could be having totally different needs and challenges, because the degree also varies. Yes. So we proceed to the fifth one, which is mental disability, including psychiatric disability and learning disability.
Now, this is also complex in itself. Mental disability. You know, occasionally we hear people say, nze sirina waya oba nze waya teziriiko. As common statements that people use out there.
Yes.
So, how does all this happen? For someone to reach a point and they say, "Nze sirina waya, nze ndi mawaya," you know?
But I think what you brought is just a way maybe society wants to people want to identify themselves, or maybe make fun or run away from certain situations and responsibilities out there.
Because I want people to get to the real understanding of who someone mentally disabled is.
When I come back to the mental disability, including psychiatric cases, of course, when we go now to the end of the psychiatric bit, then we lean towards the medical people. It is basically the medical persons who can say that so and so has a mental problem or not. Mental disability is in most cases is supposed to be diagnosed by a mental person, and they can be put on treatment. I'm telling you, these are more of things that help you to remove that other thing that limits you from participating. And some of these people with psychiatric challenges, when they are on medication, they're okay. Dress in a suit like you, come and work and perform very well at their work, as long as they are supported, as long as the barrier that limits them from participation is removed. And of course, there are those ones of learning disability. There are children who really take long to learn due to a number of challenges. And these are the ones that we're putting learning disability. Ordinarily out there, omuntu ayinza kuba omwana ono musiru tategeera yakadda mu class kumala myaka 5 mbadde kati bagenda tula P7 yakyali mu P4, you know, and yet there is a problem. But sometimes because we don't have the awareness, we've not bothered to seek medical help or guidance or referral to the right services maybe that child may need, maybe to be able to push to a certain level of education.
Okay. I was also remembering a category of people who say, I understand very fast after a very long explanation. So, do they also follow under people with learning disabilities?
I don't want to claim to be a specialist in being able to identify who is having a learning disability and who is having a mental disability. But there are professionals who can very well ably identify and differentiate these.
Well, let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we are going to pick it up from there. We shall complete the other forms of disability, and of course we shall talk about the importance of this day and why we need to celebrate it as a country.
Issues at hand. Issues at hand.
Welcome back from that break. We are looking at the insights ahead of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which will be celebrated on the 3rd of December. That will be next week on Wednesday. And this year, this day is going to be celebrated from Mubende district. So we were looking at the forms of disabilities, and of course before the break we had looked at about 5 forms. What are the other? Because you told us there are 8.
Yeah, there are 8. We are now left with only 3. And the 6th one is a category called little people.
Okay.
Little persons are individuals who are of short stature. How do people locally out there call them?
I don't know the number of names.
Do you know anybody you think falls in that category? A common figure?
Sarah Short. Is one of the commonest people.
Yes. So Sarah Short actually falls in that category.
There is also another actor, another comedian. I'm forgetting his name. I've forgotten his name.
There are quite a number of them, and they have also come out to show that they can do beyond what people see. Yes. So that's the category that is called little persons. Not so what are they limited from doing? And then 7, we have albinism.
Oh.
Yeah. People who have...
So someone would ask, how is albinism a disability?
Persons with disability, with albinism are challenged in a number of ways. First of all, they are so prone to skin cancer if they are exposed to direct sunlight, and if they don't, especially if they don't have access to sunscreens. It's a special cream that they use to smear on their body to protect them, because they're a little bit more delicate than the rest of us. That's why they're more prone to skin cancer. So you find most of them not able to move under the sun, strong sun like me and you. And most of them also have visual issues. Yes, most of the persons who have albinism they have low vision, or even sometimes their vision is completely compromised. They have a number of challenges, really. And our society also limits them from moving, because we assume that if you ritual sacrifice.
Exactly.
So all these things are issues that are out there, and they limit them from coming out to participate on equal terms with others. Parents end up hiding. If I leave my child to go out, this and this will happen. And if you've noticed, most of them wear some form of hat. That is part of the ways they try to reduce on the sun's effect on them. They're a very complicated category also, really. Yes, but when you see them moving, you might not really understand. It's just a matter of the skin issue.
Exactly, you
but
never
there
know
are
what
other
they go
underlying challenges that limit their participation, like any other person. Then lastly is multiple disabilities.
Okay.
Multiple disabilities is generally anybody who has a combination of any of these. It can be a combination of 2, 3, 4. Others even can have a combination of up to 6. So it is one of the most complicated forms of disability. It means you've lost your functionality, or your functionality is limited in a number of areas. Yes, because of the combination of limitations of the disabilities or the impairment that individual has. So those are the 8 categories that Uganda as a country by law recognizes as persons with disability. And I want to resound it out there again. If the impairment on your body doesn't limit your functionality, you are not a person with disabilities, according to the law, because I read the definition.
Yes.
Yes.
So we know it's clear. We are looking at the situation of persons with disabilities, and of course, this is what the law highlights as persons with disabilities. But as for the statistics, should we worry that the numbers are growing? Are the numbers increasing, decreasing? What is the situation as per WUBO statistics that were released last year?
Yeah. There is a slight increase.
Okay.
Because the UBO statistics of 2004 had it at 12.4%, and right now we are having 13.2. That is persons with disabilities from 2 years and above. UBOS doesn't capture data below 2 years when it comes to disability. So from 2 years and above, it stands at 13.2, which is an increase from the 12.4 that we previously had in the other past census. Yes, so, and these individuals, they really suffer from exclusion. And because of barriers that we as the society sometimes we put for them. Yes. So our theme for this year, wealth creation, a key to socio-economic empowerment of persons with disabilities.
Why this theme, if we can go that direction? Because someone would ask, why this theme specifically? Does it mean that that persons with disabilities have been left out, or why do you choose such a theme and at a time like this?
You know, we looked at wealth creation programs as an essential driver to socio-economic empowerment of persons with disabilities. Because when you are socio-economically empowered, your economic or financial independence is amplified. That is one. Anybody who has cash in their hand has a voice. And you are independent. You can do a number of things for yourself. So it also promotes participation. You're able to move around, do a number of things for yourself, engage in an economic activity, participate in a village meeting, and people listen to you because now you have a voice. You know, money speaks. Yeah, and persons with disabilities are not spared. Any person who has money will always be easily accepted to participate in the development process. They will even go in business ventures and pay tax, and government will get money, revenue out of them. So they are participating. They will be able to participate in decision making, and all these are escape avenues from the cycle of poverty. When persons with disabilities are engaged in these wealth creation programs, the systemic barriers that create their exclusion and discrimination is also kind of done away with. So it is not, the theme is something that is big and looking at something that is sustainable, that can make persons with disabilities participate in the social, economic development of our country, politically, economically, decision making, and in all areas, in all spheres of life. You know, money commands a lot of things. And when they participate in these wealth creation programs, they are on board with almost any other person. They are able to get money to access the needed health care that they require, access the education, the schools that maybe were now far, they could maybe get transport to go to that distant school, or an assistive device to assist a child move to school. You know, a number of things. They are able to do a number of things, and so many barriers are removed because of this, if we bring or we put to action this theme.
Okay. You read for us as we were beginning, and of course trying to define who a person with disability is. You read for us the Persons with Disabilities Act, CAP 115.
Yes.
But someone would also want to know, are there any constitutional guarantees for persons with disabilities?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We have a number of, first of all, our constitution is inclusive of everybody.
Okay.
And right now, the government talks inclusion in everything that it does, including even in the schools. Actually, government is pro-inclusive schools than even having exclusive or special schools for persons with disabilities. But we also have a number of things that government has put in place constitutionally in terms of programs and a number of things. I want to talk about it in two categories. We have one that are those programs that are specific to persons with disabilities. And then there are those ones that are inclusive, where they benefit together with every other person. Because of the long time or the long exclusion and discrimination that persons with disabilities have faced, they have been left behind. That is a fact. And to bring them on board, government has a framework of handling their issues that is called a twin track approach.
Okay.
Twin means two. That is the specific targeting and the inclusive targeting. Under the specific targeting, we have what we call the National Special Grant for persons with disabilities. This is money that government gives to persons with disabilities in groups of 5. Previously used to be 5 to 15, but the guidelines have been revised to 5 to 10. And they are given 5 million shillings to engage in an economically empowering activity. And persons with disabilities have engaged. Of course, they have to be those ones that are acceptable by law. We will not see people selling njaga on the street from as a result of government money or doing charcoal burning. You get these are things. Whatever is not prohibited there, and they feel they have the capacity to engage in that income generating activity, this money is given to them. It is not so much money, it is 5 million for them to select an enterprise that they can engage in and improve on their well-being within their different household. They have gone into farming, they have done goat rearing, piggery, poultry, a number of things, mobile money, and some of them have even, in fact, a number of them have been diversified into these other saving box, the village saving box, the VSLAs. They have diversified and also done that where they are borrowing amongst themselves, and they are able to improve their life. That is one program that is directly targeting them. Then another program that is specific for them, we have vocational rehabilitation centers that train youth with disabilities in vocational skills. And at the end of the training, government gives them a small package called Startup Capital for them to be able to go back to their communities and implement the different trades that they would have gained skills in. If your trade was tailoring, you go with your tailoring machine, and then you go and maybe put on a veranda at home, and you're able to, make uniform for people within the community or something. If you've done welding, you can go and start your small welding business in your trading center. We give them the basic tools that you cannot do without. Basically, we don't. It's not like we're going to open a huge workshop for everybody. So we have 5 vocational rehabilitation centers that are functional.
Okay.
We have one in Lueza called Lueza Vocational Rehabilitation Center. We have Chireka Rehabilitation Center in Chireka. We have Ruti Vocational Rehabilitation Center in Imbarara. We have Ochoko Rehabilitation Center in Arua. We have Mpumude Rehabilitation Center in Jinja. So this is where persons with disabilities go, and they are trained either in carpentry, cosmetology, tailoring, handicraft, a number of trades really, including leather works. And then when we go to those other programs that are not inclusive, of course we have PDM. And government ring-fenced 10% of PDM specifically for persons with disabilities. Yes, so that even if people are trying to fight and try to exclude them the other side, they have this 10% that they're supposed to demand for. Yes, and then the NSSF midterm access, it is at 45 years. But for persons with disabilities, government put it at 40 years,
Yes.
as long as you've been saving with NSSF. I don't want people to start going to NSSF and they start
demand for their
claiming,
money.
I'm 40 years, I need my money, yet you are not saving there. Viewers, it's for persons with disabilities who have been saving with NSSF. And even other people who are not persons with disabilities. Don't make 45 and you go there. You start claiming for your money if you didn't save there. For those who have been really saving there. I hope I have captured the key provisions that we have. Yes.
Maybe you can as well talk about the services that are offered, especially to and this falls into your department, other than vocational training that you've talked about, that is within the other 5 institutions that you've talked about.
The other programs that we...
Yes, the other services that you offer as a ministry that you have aligned for the persons with disabilities. For example, do you have anything like, because, for example, someone would be in need of maybe physiotherapy, or someone needs occupational therapy, or someone, things like that. Does the ministry or has arrangement for such?
Yes. That is a very well put question. Issues of disability is multi-sectoral issues. Ministry of Gender is the lead agency as far as vulnerable groups are concerned, and this is where persons with disabilities fall. But Ministry of Gender, other than these other programs that provides for persons with disabilities, it doesn't mean that is it for persons with disabilities. Other sectors also have roles that they have to play. And Ministry of Gender works very closely with partners and other ministries, departments and agencies to ensure that persons with disabilities receive the services that they need. For example, when it comes to health, we work with Ministry of Health. We work very closely with Ministry of Health. Actually, as we are going to commemorate our day in Mubende, we are working with Ministry of Health to provide some assistive devices at the site. So Ministry of Gender will not be the one to go and give we definitely work with Ministry of Health, because that is their docket. Because now when it comes to the assistive devices, they have to be measured, they have to do this, they have to do assessment and all those things. And then when we come to the issue of education, definitely we work with Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education has a whole special needs education section that is specifically for children or learners with disabilities. So we also do a lot of referrals and all that. But Ministry of Gender, as a coordinating agency, has what we call Disability Coordination Committee meetings, which is held on a quarterly basis. And during this meeting, all actors and stakeholders in the area of disability, as long as we are aware of them, not the briefcases, the briefcase one that we are not aware of. Yes, both government and non-government. Okay. Every quarter we sit in a meeting, and every actor brings out the issues, they update the meeting on what they have been doing, where they are, the area of their work. So somehow we know who does what. If you need this service, you go where. For example, we have COSO that does a lot of rehabilitation and surgeries for persons with disabilities, especially children. So we work very closely with other stakeholders. But the disability is in every area. Even here, we should start working with you. This seat is not comfortable for a person with disability. I was almost asking for something, reasonable accommodation, for you to help me to reach up here. So disability is everywhere. Yeah. Even if you go to the banking hall, person with disability will need help. You are talking about the little persons, and you may wonder what is their limitation. How do we call those?
The tellers.
Okay, let alone the tellers. The tellers, their tables are high. Do you think those people reach up there? And where their ATM machines are placed, do you think they are able to reach there? They need some.
I was actually looking at a short video of a little person who had gone to ease himself in a washroom, but the place where was high at his head level.
I was only trying to be careful not to bring that one as an example. But now that you've brought it, now sincerely, how does that person help him or herself the moment they step out of their house? And that very serious facility is on his head.
Yeah.
You see, so issues of disability. So when stakeholders come together, these are the issues that we discuss, and then okay, this person is going to handle this area, going to handle this area, going to handle this area. But generally, all the stakeholders, the issue of awareness, all of us were involved. Okay. Because awareness is all round, even in the transport sector, the banking sector, farming, everything. Persons with disabilities need support, and Means of Gender does not do this alone. We are just a lead agency, and we help in the coordination and ensuring that we don't duplicate services. If somebody is already doing this, can somebody else do this one? Yes, so that we don't waste resources. Okay. Also. But you know, when you talk about awareness, people don't understand the implication of awareness. They think it's just a matter of coming and you talk about an issue and then you go. But the mark that awareness lives in the minds of people is so different. Me, I'm very sure that people who are watching us right now, a lot of them are going to have mindset change in the way they look at persons with disabilities. So actually, I'm urging people out there not to be restrictive in putting resources towards creating awareness about persons with disabilities or any other thing that concerns them, because knowledge is power. When you don't know about something, sometimes you act ignorantly about it, and then you get negative repercussions. But because you are ignorant, you didn't know. But it is awareness that will remove all these other negative perceptions. And the moment people are aware, then I believe the barriers will be removed. You'll know that each time we are holding a meeting, we need to have a sign language interpreter. Because out there are other viewers maybe who cannot hear what we are talking about. Each time maybe we have written tests and we are inviting people, we find out if somebody who is there's a participant who could be coming and is having challenges with vision, so that we have some copies in Braille. So those are the things that we do. And we also don't tire in revising and amending our policies and legal documents to suit the current trend. You know, sometimes that's why from time to time we hear that this document has been reviewed, has been revised, because new things keep on coming, and we are always glad to do it and ensure that persons with disabilities are not discriminated or excluded.
Well, thank you so much. In just a minute, I can request you to give us your closing remark, especially on the upcoming Day of Persons with Disabilities.
Okay, you've given me a minute. Okay, the upcoming day is on 3rd December. It's going to be in Mubende. I want to read for you the venue. Did you mention the venue already?
No, I didn't mention the venue.
You didn't mention the venue already. We've only been saying that we are in Mubende, but specifically we are going to be at Uganda National Institute of Teachers Education, Unite Mbale campus. Mubende campus. Former NTC Mubende. Yes. So don't say here again NTC. No, it was formerly NTC, but now it is called Uganda National Institute of Teacher Education. That is where the event is going to be held. And I'm calling upon all Ugandans to come and join us. Come and join us, and you see what happened. You also witness the capabilities of persons with disabilities, join hands with government and other stakeholders in taking stock of what we've been doing. And a number of activities, pre-activities, have already started. We are going to have a symposium on disability as one of the pre-events, and it's happening on 1st.
That's Monday.
On Monday. It's here in Kampala, and we are supposed to be at Hotel Africana. If there are any changes of venue, I'll come back and tell you. But as far as I'm concerned, we are going to be at Hotel Africana, and there will be a lot of discussions that will be ongoing. And we shall also have Disability Inclusive Awards. We are going to be awarding people who have been doing a lot of good work for and with persons with disabilities.
Okay.
But we shall also have some beauty pageant for persons with disabilities on that first come at Hotel Africana.
Okay.
Only that one is by invitation.
Okay.
Yes. So, and besides that, we are going to have health camp. I told you already we are working together with Ministry of Health, and we shall be giving out some assistive devices. So Ministry of Health will be in Mwende. We usually do this at the venue to make them have a feel and also bring services closer to them.
Okay.
Other than, of course, giving the assistive devices, there will be the usual simple tests and health services that will be provided at the venue. Though the bit of the assistive devices may start a day or so before the actual event. We have so many activities that go along with the main celebrations.
Okay.
So we really encourage people to pick interest. And we still have so many other upcoming media engagements with the different media houses. So we encourage people, if they hear of any, they pick interest. Don't say, I already listened to the other one of Family TV. Another person might come with a different perspective. Or another media house might ask completely different question that you could have missed. We could have missed here. You know, we cannot handle everything. It's a very wide thing to discuss about. Maybe we could have left something and could hear of another engagement in another media house. Please listen or watch. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Akot Miriam, and of course to your viewer. We really appreciate you for having followed us from where we started from up to now. Edrine Mukalazi is my name. We've come to the end of Issues at Hand. I've worked with very many people, but because it's a Wednesday, next is the Uganda We Want. Therefore, come through as we discuss issues concerning our country. But for now, I wish you a blessed day.
The views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of this television or its management, but as of individuals as we hear them.